A very warm welcome here from our studio number 2 from Munich to everyone in Spain being with us right now, having this session about Ingest technologies. And a very warm welcome to snowy Switzerland. Hello, Aurélien from Woody Technologies.
Hello, Stefan. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, and I hope you are well as well. So in your background, I can see you have snow already outside.
Winter time now. But I'm sure that the weather is better in Spain. Buenos dias a todos joining us today for this session.
Yeah, so hopefully warmer in the south. Here in Munich, it started snowing as well. So, but we are all inside. I'm prepared with a fresh, warm coffee. I hope you are as well. We will have around about 45 minutes right now here with Aurélien, all about Ingest. So Aurélien, could you please explain or introduce yourself and then explain Woody Technologies and the complete group of companies that we are now connected?
Of course, so I am Aurélien Brelle, the co-founder and sales manager from Woody Technologies. We are a company based in France, established in 2013, and we are part of the Askida Taldea group, which is a French group providing a wide range of services and products to the broadcast industry.
Thank you very much, Aurélien. So let's jump into the topic for this session right away. We would like to talk about your product family, Woody Technologies. What are the products from a high level all about? What do they offer?
Sure. So Woody Technologies is providing software for media processing, mainly focusing on transcoding, ingest, and integration with media asset management systems. So we have products for file-based ingest. We have products for the live ingest, for the social media ingest, and for the Outgest from the post-production to the external environment.
Thank you. So let's jump that very moment into the ingest topic. And what I've heard, the product name that is related to ingest is Woody Intuit. And what I know, Intuit is not only one single product, it's again more than one. What is Intuit and what is it targeting?
Woody Intuit is a family of products that are handling all the manual and automated ingest tasks. So it applies in many cases for local ingest, for remote ingest, and it can be used by journalists, by ingest operators, or run fully automatically in fully automated workflows. So
there are various versions of Intuit. What are they about?
Yeah, sure. So we have the Woody Intuit standalone ingest workstation, which is the traditional ingest kiosk where the users are coming with their camera cards, with their hard drives, selecting their media and doing the ingest. This is the compact solution that is fitting all the needs for small and big size broadcasters. Then we have Woody Intuit Server, the scalable, redundant architecture for both automated and manual ingest workflows that can apply and be deployed in very large infrastructure as well. And we have Woody Intuit Go, the solution for remote ingest from any device, smartphone or laptop, to send the content over internet or over a private network to the main production facility, cloud-based or on premises.
Now, you spoke about various types of ingest. What is the functionality that Intuit itself offers?
So Intuit offers a wide range of functionality. For the manual ingest, it has a very intuitive user interface that can be really used by anyone, even without technical skills, because everything is managed through ingest profiles. The ingest profiles are handling all the technical settings in the background. And for the users, it's about previewing, selecting, subclipping, listening to the audio tracks, and adding the metadata which are required for the ingest. So it's a very powerful, but also easy to use user interface that we give to users for manual ingest in Woody Intuit.
You spoke about manual ingest. Is there also automatical ingest?
Of course, yes. We have also automated workflows triggered through watch folders. We have a wide range of watch folders that we can configure in Woody into its server with a lot of options. And it can also be fully controlled by third parties using the REST API that we offer, that we have recently completely renewed.
Now, Ingest is never just a standalone application or in just some very rare cases. So I assume it is integrated with the surroundings, so with the ecosystem where it is deployed. What are the typical integration elements around it?
Yeah, it's definitely integrated with third parties. The aim of Woody products in general is to integrate with as many products as possible on the market. So it is, of course, media asset management system, production asset management systems, and also storages. So we integrate with many of them, including, but not limited to, Avid, Dalet, Cantemo, Grass Valley, Sony, and so on.
You spoke about ingest from kiosk PCs, ingest desks. We spoke about the automatic ingest just now. What about people from abroad, from a press conference or from a studio where production does happen, or from a remote correspondence office, let's say the Washington office?
Yeah, that's a strong focus that we have at the moment, the remote ingest workflows, and it has been also increasing during this 2020 year with the COVID crisis, even if it has already started before. So Woody Intuit Go is really the solution that will cover all the cases you've mentioned: people working from home, people working from the field where the events happens, people working from a remote office. So with Woody Intuit Go, you can really easily transfer your content, high-res or low-res content, or even smartphone content, to the central production facility with a very smart architecture where the deployment is drastically simplified on the client devices.
So that means someone who is abroad has the exact same functionality than someone who's in the facility that very moment. What about the user interface? It's all the same? Do we need to train people when they are working from remote?
The user interface is the same. So the user experience in general is the same. What is different is that the configuration is remotely managed, and of course that the media and metadata will be transferred to somewhere else. But from a user perspective, there is no difference between doing the ingest from the main premises or doing it remotely. Of course, on the smartphone devices, there is a difference in terms of user experience just because of the screen size and the capabilities of the phone. But generally, the aim is the same. Select your ingest profile, browse your content, add your metadata, and start your transfer.
So as you just mentioned it, so there's also an app for mobile phones?
Yeah, sure. That's an app that we've released a few months ago. It's available on iOS and Android devices, and we are constantly improving this app. What is good is that you can log into this app with the same credentials that you are using on the laptop. So it's not that you have laptop users and smartphone users. It's the same users, sometimes working with their smartphone, sometimes working with their laptop, with an adapted user interface for the case they are facing.
Now, as we spoke quite a lot already about remote workflows, does that mean that we still are contributing always to a main facility? What about workflows that are more distributed or that are happening via cloud-hosted solutions? Can Intuit somehow contribute to the cloud or even be served from the cloud?
Yes, both. Woody Intuit can definitely contribute to the cloud. We are already having workflows where Woody Intuit Go is used to send content to cloud-hosted management system. Media management system, sorry. We have already integration with AWS S3 storage, with Azure Blob storage. We are now integrating with Google Cloud Platform as well. So yes, it can definitely contribute to the cloud. And Woody Intuit configuration service for Woody Intuit Go is anyway cloud hosted. So we already have part of the Woody Intuit infrastructure that is running in the cloud. Plus, we can have Woody Intuit server also deployed in the cloud to manage close to the cloud hosted media asset management system to handle all the transcoding that is required around the cloud production system.
Yeah, so this very moment we do see a screenshot that is about such an architecture, and as we can see here, there's also technology that you utilize for the transfer. So that brings me to the topic, what about people that are in regions where they have a bad internet connection, or what about the ones that have to transfer high volumes of data or even bigger files because of higher qualities?
Yeah, we have to solve all these problems. The problem of transferring from far away, which implies latency, that we can compensate with the integration that we have with the transfer acceleration technologies provided by many vendors, including Aspera, Signient, or File Catalyst, which are some of our partners. For the problem of bad connection, we can configure some profiles on the Woody Intuit configuration service for the users that are profiles that will transcode the files to a lower resolution for the transfer, and then they will be again transformed to the house format. So they can have different profiles available in Woody Intuit Go, high-res profile, low-res profile, and depending on the bandwidth, they can choose the one that will let them transfer properly their content to the remote site.
Quick question about the skills that are required on one hand to do the administration of such a platform, and on the other hand for the people that are operating it. How complex is it to configure an Intuit?
We really like at Woody to provide products that are easy to configure and easy to use. That's very important to us, and we are taking great care of the user interfaces, the names that we use, and so on. So for the configuration part, any system administrator that is used to work with broadcast environments will be able to configure ingest profiles, user rights, generally without any help from us. Just a bit of training, and you can do your Woody Intuit configuration very quickly, and you can get that up and running in just a few 1 hour, 2 hours to get everything up and running. Then, of course, there is more training required for the advanced administration or the maintenance of the solution, but basically doing something that works is very easy. And for the user perspective, we've made this first for journalists, for people who have no time and no specific knowledge about formats, about transcoding, about MAM storages, and so on. So we have made this very intuitive, and it's also true for the other Woody products.
I see. Aurélien, quickly before we leave the file ingest, just one more question about the typical surroundings where you deal with what are often Avid interplay-based editing systems. What special client applications do you offer for Avid users?
So we have it's true specific integration with Avid, even if we have customers working with many other MAM systems. But for the Avid integration, we have the Cloud UX app for Avid Media Central Cloud UX, the global platform from Avid, where you can directly manage your ingest jobs inside the Avid unified environment.
Thanks, Aurélien. Quickly, before we move on to the other topics, there is a possibility that you ask questions to us. This program is brought to you via YouTube streaming, and if you do a breakout of that YouTube stream into an individual browser tab, then you will get access to the chat functionality from YouTube, and that way you can ask us questions. The team in the control room is continuously watching that. Please send us your questions as you like. And Aurélien, now to move on a little bit, we spoke about the ingest from camera devices. What about the ingest from other sources? I'm thinking about social media or cloud platforms for file exchange and all that other things. You've mentioned at the very beginning you have a product for that as well.
Sure, this is Woodysocial. So Woodysocial is the product that we've built for everyone dealing with content coming from the web and from social networks in general. So it applies very well to news production, but also to other areas. The Woodysocial is really the tool that will help you to find content on the web and to get it available for editing and broadcast very easily.
And what social media platforms are supported by Woodysocial?
So we are supporting for the search part of Woodysocial. We are supporting YouTube. We are supporting Twitter, vContact, and also Vimeo. That's for the search part. But for the ingest part, we are supporting much more of the social networks, including Facebook, Instagram, and also many websites, because it's not just about social networks.
So you are offering different types of searches on social. This very moment here on the left-hand side, yeah, we do see, oh, sorry, it's the right-hand side. We see one of the search user interfaces on the screen, but you have different ones, even one that is more elaborated for searches that journalists might dream of. What do you offer?
Yeah, exactly. We have different kind of searches that we can use. So the keyword search is the basic one that you can use to search content posted about a certain topic. You can add multiple keywords to this search. You can exclude some keywords to really target your search properly. But we have also the location-based search, so you can search every content posted in a particular area. So that's very useful if something is happening somewhere and you want to make sure that the content that you will find is really posted from this area, that you can do with the location-based search. And also we have the search per list of accounts. So we can follow a list of Twitter accounts, for example, the Spanish government members or the main influencers of the country. And we can see what they have posted recently, preview this content, and put it in the selection list for Ingest.
Aurélien, what equipment does a journalist need to do so? What is the architecture of Woodysocial? Is it an application that is being installed?
No, it's all happening in the web browser. So what you basically need is a computer with a web browser. All the processing is happening in the backend. This backend can be deployed in the cloud or on premises, but everything is happening on the web browser. Additionally to the user interface that we have seen before, you have the Google Chrome plugin extension, that is browser extension that you add to your Google Chrome browser, that will also connect to Woodysocial and allow you to start an ingest from any web page you are navigating on.
Yeah, we do see it just this very moment here on the screen. In terms of the ingest itself, I understood the journalist browses on the social media that is done from the browser. He has all the search functionality. When he selects a content, what does happen and how is this content afterwards moved into the production systems?
Sure. So when content is selected by the users, the first important thing again to do is to choose the ingest profile. This ingest profile contains all the details about where the metadata, the media will be delivered, what are the extra metadata that we require the users to type in. So selecting the ingest profile will tell to the backend what to do with the selection. And then this selection is downloaded, transcoded to the house format, but also all the metadata are extracted and transferred to the target system. So it means that you will not lose the metadata on the way. You will know who has downloaded what, and this what, you will know what was the original URL of the content, what was the description, who has posted the content. We will keep track of this data, so you will not lose it.
So that means at the end of the day, the process that happens in the backend is identical to that what happens with Woody into it?
Yes, sure. The backend is common to all the products, and the integration with the third parties are the same that we have in Woody Intuit.
Now, Does that also mean that for people that are working from remote, or even when more and more operations are happening in data centers, Woodysocial can be run from a cloud installation?
Of course, yes, Woodysocial backend can be fully deployed in the cloud and used from home or from anywhere you have internet access. And then the files can be either used in the cloud if the production system is in the cloud, or they can be sent back to the premises where Woody Intuit server can then handle them to the MAM system.
So then just quickly back to the ingest of non-social sources. I understood that Woodysocial can be also used for downloading material from the different file exchange platforms. What platforms can be connected or can be downloaded from, and what is the advantage doing so?
Sure, we are also connecting to some file sharing platforms such as Google Drive, Dropbox, and we've just added WeTransfer in the release of this week. So it means that you can very easily, if you are an ingest operator and someone is sending you content from outside using this platform, put the link, the Dropbox link, the WeTransfer link in the Google plugin of Woodysocial and say ingest, and the content will be downloaded by the backend and again transcoded, delivered where you need. So it's really a wide tool for the technicians and the engineers who are dealing with these kind of sources coming from the web and from sharing platforms.
And at the end of the day, you can guarantee that no one touches systems that he should not touch, and on the other hand, that the files that are downloaded are received in the same quality as always.
Aurélien? Yeah, that's exactly the topic with all the Woody products. The workflow control, the workflow security, with the good experience for the user. That's really this combination, not the constraints, but the control of the workflow and the security of the workflow with the nice user interfaces.
So we spoke about file ingest, we spoke about social media ingest, we spoke about downloads. Now there is other sources as well that are not bound to all this file-based world. What is, like we do at this very moment, live content that needs to be recorded or feeds. And you have a product for that as well. What is Woody Live? Could you please explain a little bit what this product is about?
Yeah, we have Woody Ingest Live. The product is about recording all kinds of sources, of live sources. The idea here is to have one solution that covers all the scope of the live sources that you could get. So, of course, it includes traditional SDI signals, but it's also capable of recording Skype meetings, Zoom meetings, Teams meetings, streams from the web, NDI streams, and so on. So it's a very complete tool for live recording.
As you just mentioned, various IP streaming technologies as well and web streaming. What about the SMPTE 2110?
Yeah, that's on the roadmap to have the 2110 also supported by Woody Ingest Live.
So that means at the end of the day, this is a software that can record from all the various types of signals that we can imagine having in a production facility, correct?
Yes, exactly. So that's software. Of course, for the SDI and 2110 inches, we also need some hardware. So that's why we provide qualified hardware appliances for Woody Ingest Live. But generally, yes, it's software-based, and it's, of course, supporting all the kind of sources without needing to convert that to SDI again, because that's why we see with the customers who don't have such solution right now, they are using for the screen capture, for the Skype meetings, they're first converting that to SDI and then recording the SDI signal. So it uses SDI recording capabilities, whereas it could all be done with the solution, with the same solution.
So sounds like, let's say, a desktop application, but I think it's more, isn't it? So what about, let's say, feed recording or recording from studio productions as we do this very moment? How does an operator manage such ingests?
This is all managed through the web-based user interface, the web-based scheduler that we have for Woody Ingest Live. So that's very important to us, that all the user interfaces that we bring to the users are web-based, because it's much easier for collaboration, it's much easier for changes that we want to do over the time, and it's much more flexible for the technical teams, as there is nothing to install locally on the client side. So all these operations are done through the web-based user interface of Woody Ingest Live.
I see. So, Aurélien, let's talk again about integrations. So, obviously, I assume the material that was recorded is afterwards made available for further steps like editing, most likely, or the transport to another facility. How is that done?
Sure. So the Woody Ingest Live is relying on the same workflow engine as all the Woody products. So it means that we are able to transfer, while recording, the feeds to the central production storage, and to reference the assets in the central MAM. What we are supporting doing that is the edit while capture. So you can start editing in Adobe Premiere Pro, in Avid Media Composer, while the recording is still in progress in Woody Ingest Live. And this for all the sources that we've mentioned before. So there is the recording layer, and there is, of course, this transfer layer that is bringing the media and the metadata to the production system and to the editors.
So as you mentioned metadata, that means the ingest operator can gather that very moment metadata as well. So what type of metadata is that, and what is the purpose?
Yeah, the idea is to organize the content, simply organize and name the content properly. When you will have someone searching for the content in the editing software or in the MAM, you want the content to be well organized and well named. So the metadata that you can add in the scheduler when you are scheduling this live from United Nations HQ, you will add the name, you will add some information that you can require from the ingest operators. We will use that to organize the content in the MAM. So we can organize the content per source, or per day, or per topic, category, whatever you want.
I see. So we just spoke about the ingest to the systems. Let's talk a little bit about the from. We have an ecosystem that typically the recording or the ingest, the live ingest, is embedded in, and this needs to be controlled as well. I'm thinking about routers, mixers, and all the other stuff that is out there. How do you integrate with the existing studio equipment?
Yeah, we have an integration with video and audio routers. For that, we partnered with a company named Rascular, and we integrated a product named Rascular Routemaster. Routemaster is able to control basically any router that is already in place, using supporting a wide range of protocols and vendors. So this is how you can directly, in Woody Ingest Live, select the source of what you want to record. So it's very easy to integrate, very easy to configure, and it gives a lot of flexibility to the operators.
One last question about the live ingest or recording. When we look into a little bit more traditional technology, then we all remember that there have been tapes in the past, and most of you out there have probably some of them on the shelf. Sometimes we are visiting customers that tell us, hey, we have 300,000 of such tapes. Is there something that can help us for recording them, for digitizing? Aurélien, how does Woody Intuit Live helps here?
Yeah, Woody Ingest Live is supporting VTR ingest, so it can control VTR through RS-422. And you can directly record your tapes and transfer them to your production storage and to your central system.
Thanks. And I need to regret, I always call the product wrongly. It's Ingest Live. Before moving to the next product, again, if you like, please send us your questions. Make use of the chat functionality in the YouTube channel that you are connected to this very moment. To do so, if needed, open the player in the YouTube environment, and then you can type us questions. Moving on, there is another product that we want to talk about. We spoke about moving content into systems. What about getting content out again? There's another product that's called Woody Outgest. Aurélien, what is Woody Outgest about and how does it integrate?
Yeah, Woodysocial is the product that we built to transfer finalized content or sometimes footage from the post-production environment to the outside. So the use cases and the applications of such product can be numerous. You can have sending content to archives, sending content to payout servers, remote or local payout servers. You can also send to the cloud storage, to share that with people. Or you can also send that directly to your CMS or to your web publishing tool to publish on social networks. So Woody Outgest is covering all these use cases.
Thank you very much, Aurélien, for this. Now, the Transcode, is that a needed functionality as well? I'm thinking about we have post-production codec in the editing systems, and then we want to move the content to other systems. So what can you do on that way of getting the content out from the post-production?
Oh, yes, we can, of course, transcode it to other broadcast formats or to web formats for web publishing. We can also do some additional processing like burning a logo on the picture so it's ready for publishing or for sharing directly. We can also, of course, send notifications once the transfer is done, so you can easily advise the target user that the content has been transferred. So there are a wide range of workflow possibilities here, including, of course, the transcoding.
I've just brought up the screenshot that we have available for this. It's again a configuration dialog that looks similar to the one from the other products. Aurélien, we spoke about the transcoding, but what about the metadata? I assume when you mentioned earlier a content management system, probably for web publishing, that needs metadata in a different form. How can Outgest help here, and what metadata sources is it retrieving that metadata from?
Yeah, so Woody Outgest is, of course, extracting metadata, technical, but also editorial from the post-production environment. For example, with Avid, we get the metadata from Avid Interplay, we get metadata from Avid iNews, and we can aggregate all these metadata, plus the metadata that have been added by the users, if any, during the process, and we will deliver a full package of media plus metadata to the target platform, so to the CMS or to the archive system. So it's really a rich content that we are delivering. It's not just a transcode of a file to a web format. It's really the workflow of bringing all the media and the metadata to the target environment.
Yeah, and then again, the question, how does Outgest work for an Avid customer? How is it being integrated into an Avid ecosystem?
Yeah, so we have, again, the integration with Media Central Cloud UX, where the users can use the Woody Outgest app to preview the content, select the content, and add the custom metadata that will be used during the transfer. It can also be used in an automated way using watch folders from the Avid PAM, Media Central Production Management now, formerly Avid Interplay PAM. So we can also here combine manual workflows and automated workflows.
I see. And now as we are talking about these workflows, I assume, assume it's quite logical that when all the productions nowadays happen more and more in the clouds, we have the needs of delivering out from the clouds. How can Outgest help here?
Yeah, sure. So Woody Outgest is also integrated with all the cloud storage that we mentioned before from Amazon, from Microsoft and Google. So we can easily deliver to these cloud storages from the premises, or we can have Woody Outgest running in the cloud, delivering to people from the cloud. It can be both ways. And we also use Woody Outgest for remote workflows, not necessarily in the cloud, but it could be to deliver files to the playout server that is in a playout facility somewhere else.
Aurélien, let's leave Outgest behind us a little bit. So what I'm concluding is we have a suite of products that share all a common engine. That's how I'm always often call it. So like the workflow engine that you referred and all this machinery for the transcoding, for the metadata reforming and so on. But it is available in different, for different use cases with different user interfaces as different products. For me, it sounds like when I'm a customer and I'm starting with Woody with one product, I can afterwards play a little bit like Lego to add more of the other products all around the same ecosystem. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely you can do that. We have a lot of examples of customers using several of our products. We have also a lot of examples where products integrate with other products like Woodysocial running in the cloud, integrated with Woody Intuit server running on premises. So that, or Woody Intuit server doing automated workflows first and then being integrated with Woody Intuit Go to manage the reception of the remote contributions. So yes, that's totally what you say. That's kind of a Lego that you can arrange and build to have all your workflow needs covered for the ingest and outgest.
So is it correct when I say that when a customer runs one Woody product and makes good experience and knows that the file formats are correct, the integration does work, the metadata that is sent to the system or retrieved from the system does work correctly, then all the others should work as well? How much can a customer trust into the experience that he does with one product when he wants to look into the other products?
Yes, definitely. We are keeping the same level of user experience across the products. Most of the configuration user interfaces are similar from one product to the other. So that's really what we bet on. People are happy with this workflow with these products, so then they add additional bricks to increase their infrastructure and to increase the number of workflows which are covered by Woody solutions. So yeah, definitely, if you have a good experience with Woody Intuit, you will probably like Woodysocial, and the same with the others.
As you mentioned, the people, I assume the people are the customers. Could you give us a little bit of an insight in who are your customers?
Yeah, so we are working with broadcasters mainly. 80-85% of our customer base is broadcasters. It's for all broadcasters. We have regional, small regional broadcasters. We have big networks that are working with Woody products. So we really fit with all budgets and all workflow challenges. We are also working with post-production facilities. So that's also where we can help. When there are some post-production involved, that could also be outside of the broadcast industry, of course.
Aurélien, one last question. Could you give us one example for a recent project that you did and probably one that you are pretty proud about because it was very successful?
Yeah, sure. I wanted to mention this project today with you. It's a project that we led with for NBC in the US during the pandemic time and during the lockdown time back in April. So the idea here was to have all the users working from home being able to ingest content from social networks to the various production asset management systems located in various cities. So this is a project that is combining remote work, working from home, cloud deployment with Woodysocial being deployed in Azure cloud, and also a combination between Woody products in different locations, because here we have Woody Intuit server in 7 different cities in the US and in London to do the last part of the ingest to the MAM. So it's a very good example of integration, and it was deployed very quickly. So congratulations to the teams who did this project in the Woody teams. Yeah, I think the customer is happy with it, so that makes us proud.
Aurélien, have many thanks for joining us this morning from Switzerland here in our studio in Munich for you all out there in Spain.
Thank you, Stefan. Just one thing to add. The demo later on in the demo room will be in Spanish. So if you want to get the demo of the products in Spanish, please join us later on, I think in half an hour from now, or you know the program better than me, Stefan, in the demo room.
So you learned Spanish overnight?
No, that will not be me.
Yeah, so we are quite an international team in all the various companies, having people speaking all the various languages. And I'd like to thank you to being with us here in this first session in the morning with about Ingest with Woody Technologies and Aurélien Brelle. We are right back here from our studio number 2 with the next topic, what will be all about the baseband operations, live recording, live playout, graphic systems, and so on. Please stay tuned. To meet Aurélien, as he just mentioned, please move to the coffee bar. You can do that in the break right now as well. He is there and is happy to meet you, get your questions, get your feedback, and start conversations. So this is available immediately, right now. And then in round about half an hour from now, as Aurélien has mentioned, there will be the demo in the demonstration room of Woody Technologies. You will find that in the brands page. So at the portal, please move to brands and search for Woody Technologies, and here you can join the session when it's on. So thank you so much for the moment. Please stay tuned. We are right back in around about 5 to 10 minutes.